Today I want to do something a little different, and this is kind of a technique that I use when I'm searching for missing persons. And I've had some of you say, Zelda, you use so much, how do you not get confused? Well, it's case by case, and it depends on the area, the person, the circumstance, many contributing factors. But I'm here to show you exactly what I do. So in the future, and unfortunately, I will say this, after Nancy is found and this case is over, there will be another one, and we will be here together. I hope you're here with me because I sure do love it. There will be another one that we look into, and there may be different techniques, and you're going to see how it evolves. Now today, I'm not going to write down on the sheet we're not going to do the admin. I'm just really want to get right into it. And while I'm doing that, if you could please do me a favor and subscribe and put your sweet DNA on your like button, that would be great. Now, I am going to mark this in this book. It is not the big book of Bull. There is a section for that, but it does have a lot of Nancy content. And today is the 28th day of February, and it's 2026, Saturday. And I'm not going to put the time because the time is not relevant, okay? So, in fact, I'm not even going to do the numerology on the day because that's not going to be relevant for this either. What I want to do is I have 3 decks. Now, maybe some of you have seen my other video on True Oracle. If you haven't, I'm doing a collaboration with True Oracle right here. And if you want to go up and click on the subscribe button right where the subscribe, you'll see True Oracle there. Pop on over there and take a look at it. I think most of you have. But I'm using 3 decks right now. And what I want to do is I'm going to be writing down a few things because overnight during my meditations, there are 2 things that have come up. Number 1, I do not feel that when Nancy was taken home, that Tommaso was the only one in the car. Now, how could that have happened? Very easily. Someone could have stopped by. Someone could have been waiting along the road. But there's another energy there. There's definitely another energy there. The other thing that I'm coming up with is that Annie knows more than what we're thinking. Annie knows. And I want to just touch on briefly. His name is Dominic. I think it's Evans. Yeah, it's Aaron Evans. Now, his birthday, Aaron Lee Evans, his birthday is actually Feb 18 of 1978. No, 8. I wrote down 76. Wow. 1978. And that is significant. He is an Aquarius. So I'm going to pull out some cards. And you see there's a lot of energy. They want to get going. All right. Thank you for being here. Spirits, guides, angels, we're asking for Nancy. The Sun card. This tells me right now, and I'm going to write this down. Nancy will be found in sunlight. The number 10 is significant. There's fire. Where she is, I'm going to say there's something that needs to be open around there. There's fire energy. And it doesn't surprise me because we have the Sun card. we have the 10 of Wands. And then we have the Queen of Swords. Now, why this is telling me this, and of course then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Why this is telling me this is because Nancy's energy wants to be found. And the fire energy, I'm going to say this, because you can see right here in this card, there is vast land. I know many people are out looking for her today. That entire area, and especially around where Catalina Foothills and the whole entire state of Arizona is nothing but attuned to Native American energy. This energy has been there for thousands of years. There are many land spirits. Yes, there are land spirits that are attuned to this sort of thing. And quite frankly, the earth moans. When someone, and I'm just going to say this, when someone is discarded and they are no longer with us on this plane, and they're discarded in this vast area, anywhere on the earth, but I just want to focus on the state of Arizona, and especially in this desert, mountainous, rocky, hilly terrain. The earth moans. There's a spiritual connection there. There's a special spiritual connection there in Arizona, just like there is in the Great Smoky Mountains, on the eastern side of things, of the nation. I'm very familiar with the Great Smoky Mountains. I am not with Arizona. It's a beautiful landscape. I don't think I could take the heat. But this one here tells us another thing. The Queen of Swords. Now, I've always said that the queens, they pretty much lay down the law, and it's the kings that enforce it. Happy wife, happy life, right? So you see here, this is an air element, and look at the birds. I know that they will find Nancy in an area, unless she's been moved again, and believe me, I believe she's been moved. She's been moved. And it's the reason why is because the captors want to keep ahead. They want to keep ahead. This silence is driving them crazy. They loved it when the mainstream media and a lot of people were reporting, oh, the FBI is doing this and Pima County is doing this and this and this and this is happening. And it almost seems like it's going quiet, but to a captor, it's too quiet. And that's exactly what we want, because this is the time where they're either going to start feeling, okay, well, it's over, or they really start feeling nervous, which I believe they're really feeling nervous. And that's why I believe that Nancy has been moved. Now, I do feel that she has a water reference. She may not be in water, but she has a water reference. But now I'm also going to say she has an air reference. She has an air reference now, water and air. Water is an emotional element. Air is communication as well. Her spirit, her energy, I'm going to say it that way, because I'm not into calling spirits. I don't dig that. Her energy is moving with the earth's energy, that whole in tune area, moving there. Now I'm going to touch on something in a minute because I think it's really important. Now we have the Eight of Pentacles. This is a card of consistency. The captors have had to stay consistent, and so is Annie. I do believe she knows more, and that's my opinion. I'm not pointing the finger. I'm not stating this as evidence or facts. It's my opinion, and that's what I've gotten. It's all about being consistent. Now, here's the thing. I don't want anybody to get upset because here's DNA, I do believe that they're going to find something. And the reason I believe that is because, first of all, we as a world can find DNA on 11 mummies, including King Tut. Yes, in his condomain of Stona, right? King Tut, 11 mummies, 3,500 years ago. And the sheriff gets a little balled up because he says there's a mixture of DNA. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Stop it. They're on it. And I do believe they're going to be finding something, and I do believe one of the reasons that they're keeping Annie's car in evidence, it's the only car they have. So it's an inconvenience. Are they cleared? In my mind, no. Because first of all, it takes a judge's order to give that car back to them. They just don't say, because they had a warrant to get it. They have to have a judge sign off on it to give it back. Even if they got an attorney, the judge can say no. If they call the FBI or Pima County and they say, well, judge, we better hold on to this. So there's some things that are completely different here that are going to be happening. I do want to do a little bit of numerology on him. Let me check on this birth. I'm going to check on his birth year. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, yes, 1978. It makes him 47 years old. This is a number 2. This is 1 plus 8 equals 9. So we're going to add this together now. You're going to see. So it's 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 8 equals, so let's do it the easy way so all of you can see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, there. We add 8, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we have now 25. Sorry, I just heard something audible. Okay. And that is a 7 year. A 7 can be discerning. It can be divine. And it can be someone who is attracted to money. There's a money attraction, a gambling. Okay, I caught that. Gambling. A gambling attraction here. So we're just going to leave it there. We're with an Aquarius and a 7, gambling. And between he and Tommaso, there's a 19-year relationship between them. Friendship. They met on Craigslist long before he was with Annie, is my understanding. But someone who has 19 years of friendship knows the personal movings and everything else. We'll do more on him, but this is about Nancy. All right. Now, and we're going to write down here, she is a negotiator, and this is consistency. Yes, yes. Consistency, yes, yes, Zelda. Mind going quicker than the hand. All right, here we are. This is an oracle deck, and this is an oracle deck. I'm only going to pull one card of this. Luna. Okay, so that is a moon. Ooh, oracle. It is a Luna. And can I just say there that the first thing that I get is a Native American vibe from this? I certainly do. And, you know, we have a lot to learn from our Native American history and our ancestors. My grandfather is related to the Cherokee Nation. And boy, they're really, really connected to God in a cool way. We're going to put this here. This is the old style Lenormand deck. For those of you who like to know what my decks are, I do use there's the back of the deck, there is the front. I do keep the boxes because I like to keep my cards nice. All right, here we are. The bear, that's a 10 of clubs. That is a money, but this is referencing to a man who is hiding. There's a man hiding. This tower is not like the tower in the tarot, by the way. It represents a government. It can represent even medical, like a hospital, but more of an organization, institution. It's not that same. But look at the man who's looking at the tower. This is a man who is definitely involved. Now, I believe that the whole idea, perhaps not building on it, but the whole idea started last fall. They knew they were taking a chance, but he still feels that he's lucky because he feels that nobody has anything and nobody can connect anybody. That's what he feels. Now, this is a lump sum of money, and a lump sum of money that has been needed. And this 5 plus 1 is 6, and that's the house number that Nancy's home resonates. You know, here's the thing, my darlings. We're all in on this. We're all in on... Oh, look what card came up. I picked those cards up. We're all here on... We're here in on Nancy missing. And this shows a garden. Today is the 28th. Wouldn't that be something if she was found today? Because today is the 28th. We're going to put those to the side. So I'm going to explain something to you here in a second, because I think some of you are like, but Zelda, you're talking about this, and you're talking about that, and you're talking about Grand Junction, and you're talking about this, and this is why. This is why. Let me get a better pencil, so that way I can really write it out for you. Sorry for the noise. Well, Zelda, Mercury retrograde. It's another thing that's going on. You see, when someone has an idea, this becomes the idea, no matter what the force is behind it. That is the idea. Wow, Zelda. When someone has an idea, there we go. When someone has an idea, it starts right at the bottom as a foundation. And then what happens, it starts spurning off of this way and spurning off of this way and spurning off of this way. I believe that someone in Grand Junction had an idea. I believe that they were looking for someone, somehow, somewhere, to get a connection to Nancy. Why? Well, because of an interview. And yes, I believe that there was an epi involved. You all know about Gilligan's Island. Well, it's not Gilligan's. And unfortunately, these things happen. It's called retaliation. And that's what happened, because there's some suspicious things happening here. And the reason I'm suspicious, I'm just going to be frank. There's been changes, even in the video that Savannah put out. Now, of course, she shortened it and whatever, but everybody's removing the part about she was taken from her bed. Are we not supposed to know that? Because there's something different there. I don't know. So when you have the idea, you start looking for people who know the land, you know the place, you know the people, you know the home, right? You want somebody that knows the home. You want somebody that knows the money. You want somebody that knows the lay of the land. And here we have nothing but cactuses. Yes. Well, that looks like somebody's giving somebody the finger. That's okay. And you want somebody to know everything there is, and that is including family. So you start recruiting. So is Tommaso and Dominic, were they recruited? Could they have been recruited? Because you see, people like that do recruiting, they lie. They say, oh no, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to her. This is just to send a little message. You may get a little bit of money out of it, blah, blah, blah. This guy is a convicted felon in a very, very bad way. Stealing, DUIs, burglaries, all kinds of things. Now, I'm not saying that's not fair to say, well, just because he is, we need to look at him. But has he changed his ways? That's my question. I want to get my Cartomancy. So there's some things here, my friends, that I just don't resonate. I don't like. And I'm still very suspicious. And this is what I do. And it doesn't feel like an off day. It just feels like a day where we have to take a rest and kind of get back into foundational reading. And that's what it is, because we are all involved. We're all involved. This is a separation here, and it's because of jealousy. Oh, jealousy plays a big part in these types of deals. Now, again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I don't have facts. It's not evidence. But the numbers don't lie, and neither do the cards. This is a part of sacrifice. Did they feel that they needed to sacrifice Nancy, and not that way? You know what I mean. The idea in order to gain, because quite frankly, I keep hearing she cut him off. And I want you to also know, do you know we always come up with the number 8, number 8, number 8 all the time? Well, Tommaso signed a power of attorney, it's my understanding, 8 months ago. Why Tommaso? Where's Annie? The trust is in the auditor's office at the courthouse. So why all this? Why? And I can tell you this right now. If I were an investigator and I saw that something was signed over, bingo, 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 the alarm bells would start going off. Because that's when things usually start happening. Right after someone gets that. They call it a seasoning of documents, okay? That's what they do. They call it a seasoning of documents. Remember what we talked about? You know the little thing that I keep saying, birds of a feather flock together, so do rats and mice, but it doesn't go that way. So do pigs and swine. There's a technique that investigators use that's called birds of a feather. Birds of a feather is what investigators look for. They say, well, if this person is looking at a particular website, then these people over here will be attracted to that website. But if you're looking at a financial website, then you've got a nucleus of people over here that will be attracted to them. It's called birds of a feather investigation. So the fact that Tommaso has energetically manifested and attracted Dominique Evans, is that considered birds of a feather? And for those of you who've never heard that, it's birds of a feather flock together. So do pigs and swine. Rats and mice have made their choice, but oh, have I made mine. And that means birds of a feather, swine, pigs, rats, mice can all go in whatever direction, but I will stay away from them. And that's what that little poem really means. And that's the investigation power. It's called the birds of a feather technique. Birds of a feather. Lots of paperwork here. And see, it keeps pointing to paperwork. It keeps pointing to different things. Nancy is still out there. I do believe she will be found. But unfortunately, at this point, as things go on, I'm not so sure. We have the sun and the moon here. The sun and the moon, my darling, I believe she will be found during sunlight. But sun and moon, those are days. Those are days. Those are days. Those are days. Don't forget my live tonight, my darlings. We're going to talk about more energy. I'll see you then, 7 o'clock Eastern. That's New York time. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.